Hello, I'm Flip,
And I'm Flop.
and we're here to tell you about the flipped classroom.
You may be worried about changing things.
But we assure you that this model of learning can be beneficial to both students and teachers.
Well, Flip, let's get started.
Okay, Flop. First things first, what is the flipped classroom?
I'll tell you, the flipped classroom changes the way traditional instruction is delivered to students. For years and years, teachers have lectured over course material and assigned homework over that lecture.
That is a problem, Flop, because so very often students would get lost on the homework and choose not to do it. Or worse, they would go to school and copy it from someone else, not learning anything in the process at all.
Then, Flip, when test day came, all the students panicked and performed poorly, leaving them with a feeling of despair and increased anxiety. Students have even convinced themselves that they will never pass.
Wow, Flop, that's terrible. Why don't the students choose to do their own work in the first place?
Well, that's a most profound question, Flip. The answer, however, is much more complicated than we have time to answer right now. Our society as a whole has shifted to an instant and digital self-gratification society, and the traditional lecture-style classroom does not effectively communicate with most students nowadays, leaving them and their teachers very frustrated.
Right. So one way to help bridge the communication and learning gap is the flipped classroom model.
Let's get to the point. The flipped classroom delivers instruction online to students outside the class and moves homework and application into the classroom.
I know a teacher at Snyder High School who is doing this, Mrs. Lindsay Parson. She has decided to use the flipped model to better meet the educational needs of her very busy students.
How is she going to do this?
For each lesson, Mrs. Parson will post on her website the notes in a variety of formats for her students to view at home before coming to class. Then, during class, she will assist students with questions and applications of the content as they work individually or in small groups.
So, Flip, this will give the students the chance to ask questions directly to Mrs. Parson during their assignments instead of having to wait or choosing to copy from their classmates.
That's right. With lecture or note taking done at home, Mrs. Parson will be free to move throughout the room during class time to better meet the needs of her students. And what's more, they can always go back to her website to view the notes again and again, or as much as they need.
Even to study for a test?
Yes, Flop, everything will still be on Mrs. Parson's website for students to go back and study for a test.
Wow, that's amazing, Flip. I sure wish there was something like this when we were in high school.
I know, things have certainly changed with technology.
And the flipped classroom will encourage students to use technology for learning appropriately too.
Right on, Flop. That's why Mrs. Parson and so many teachers and schools have decided to do this.
Oh yeah, so what's Mrs. Parson's website? I want to go and check it out.
It's parsonscience.weebly.com. I'm going to check it out too.
Thanks for listening. I'm Flop.
And I'm Flip. Have an awesome time learning this year. Bye-bye.